night. So I'm not going to go too much into the whole background story, one, because it's emotional, but just one of
We
those
like
reminders.
emotion on here, Ashley, just so
You
you
what?
know. We're okay with emotion.
Well,
You do what you're comfortable with, but we're good with it here.
no, I will. And I'll just kind of share just a little recap. Definitely watch the recording of last Monday night's corporate call. If you didn't get a chance, but I have been in this industry for, I always say 8 years, but I think it's 9 years already this year. It's just insane how crazy time flies. But really got into the industry with my mother, who was a massage therapist. And so health, like products we put into our body were very, very important to her. And so I had some health issues. I always had headaches. And so she's like, try these products, start doing the business. You're going to love it. We're, changing a lot of lives up here in Wyoming. And so that's really just simply what I started doing. And so I just started sharing. And the coolest thing about that is success loves speed, right? And a lot of times, like I said, I've been in this industry for 8 years, and I can tell you a lot about the Limu products. A lot of them. I could tell you probably all the ingredients. I can tell you what they do. I can tell you all the things. But really, when we go back to simplicity and just the excitement of what we have, okay? So that's where we found such quick success, is because we were just sharing. We knew we had something amazing in our hands, and we knew from a health perspective, it was going to change a lot of people's lives. And so, about 9 months into our business, my mom had found out that her breast cancer was back, and it had spread amongst her body, to her lungs, her liver, and her spine. And within the company, she, within those months, had hit a 6-figure income, which meant she earned a $10,000 check, a $10,000 bonus. And with her being sick, going through all of her treatments and stuff like that, I ended up having to go to that corporate event that year in 2016 and accepting her $10,000 bonus on stage. And about 3 months later, not 3 months, 3 weeks later, she ended up passing away at the age of 47 from breast cancer that had spread amongst her body. And, during that time, there was we had a lot of love, a lot of people surrounding us, but we also had this whole community surrounding us like an outside layer. Okay. And so that was 7 years ago. And, it's one of those things where I always talk about life's going to happen, stuff's going to hit you right in the face, but it's really how you come out of it. And you have to find that passion and that grit and that motivation in your stomach every single day to persevere through whatever comes your way. Right. I'm not saying it has to be that extreme or to those lines, but stuff is going to come across your plate. And so fast forward to 2 weeks ago, it's crazy. Just like we said, time flies by so quickly, but within the Partner Co comp plan, we have one of the 8 ways we get paid is our savings bonus. And if you log on to your back office, you can see right on your dashboard what you've earned of your savings bonus already. If it says 0, put that as one of your goals. Okay. You'll get there step by step. Right. It's one of those things where it didn't happen overnight for me. It was continuously going in there. It was one of my goals that I focused on every single week. And so to hit that savings bonus, what you need is $250 in base commissions, and the company will match you 15% and put it into a savings bonus. I worked in the oil and gas industry for almost 15 years at the same company, right? It was great. We had a 401k, they matched us. A lot of companies in our industry don't really necessarily do the same type of model or the same type of, right, compensation plan toward that. So really, I just think of that savings bonus is part of, right, to me, just coming from the corporate life, I think of it kind of like as a 401k. They're matching me money and they're putting it into an account. And so you can continuously look on there every single week and see what's going in there. Your main goal, if you are not quite there yet, is to get your paycheck every single week to that 250, because that's when Partner Co will start matching you and putting it into that bonus, and it adds up over time. Okay. So I was just continuously looking at my back office, continuously looking at all this, and probably the beginning of June. I was talking to Dr. Crystal, who's part of my upline, love her to death. And I just said, I'm only a couple hundred, whatever. I told her how much, the exact amount I was away from hitting my savings bonus. And she's like, we'll see how these next few weeks go, but it would be really cool the end of June if we could do a hard run. Well, the end of June 27th, was my mother's 7-year of passing. And so I was like, that would be awesome, right? And we did a rally call with her and Brent. We got everyone together with our team. And what we did on that team call is, first of all, Crystal and Brent kicked me off of it. Beth Johnson's laughing. I'm like, I don't think I've ever been on a Zoom where I was like removed from the host. I'm like, usually I'm a good girl. And I was like, oh my goodness, she totally just kicked me out of here. But what they did is they explained kind of what we had going on, but they painted the vision for it, right? Not just the vision of me earning or us running towards that $10,000 bonus check, but a lot of times, especially looking back at that week, we'll do so much more for someone else than we'll do for ourselves, right? So much more for someone else than we will ourselves. But what if you flip that around and you start doing it for yourself every single day, right? And coming out, and we did end up hitting it that week, which was incredible. And there was a lot of different feelings. I told Brent and Crystal that I think I felt every emotion possible under the sun, from the highs to the lows and absolutely everything in between. But us just coming together as a team, it was truly a team win. There was so many people on our team who purchased products, who enrolled customers, who enrolled brand partners, who were selling the drops, right? Just so many different dynamics that come into it. And so it's just one of those things where you have to set a goal for yourself, but you have to sometimes just paint that vision for yourself. And if you have 5 people on your team, paint that vision for the 5 people on your team, right? What are your goals that week? What are your goals that month? What can you do a little bit different this week that you didn't do last week? Maybe it's following up with some people that bought some sunrise drops or some products, or, right? I mean, it's doing just that little bit extra every single week. And that's where the big wins string together, and are the small wins string together and add up to the big wins. So that's just a little bit about the $10,000 check. It's been absolutely amazing. And it's definitely something unique that Partner Co has with that savings bonus. So definitely take advantage of it.
Yes, definitely. And I love that you gave us, one of the best things about you is, and there's so many, but one of them is that you are so detail oriented. So you always say this is how you do it. And isn't that what we all need? We need a roadmap. So thank you for that. And, if you wouldn't mind just sharing a little bit about, I think about, there's so many times that we want to dream a little bit. So I want to dream with Ashley right now and hear a little bit about what that money means to your family. You've got, 2 recent graduates, you've got dreams for the future. So what does that look like for your household?
Absolutely. It's one of those things too, just kind of backtracking a little bit off what you said. It's one of those things where it's great that it's for you, but I said on that call before Crystal and Brent kicked me off, I said, I want every single person on my team to be in my exact shoes. We're going to do a rally call behind you. We're going to push you up. We're going to encourage you. And so that was one of the things where it's being practical and it's the how to, but it's also I wanted that for my team to be in that same exact spot. And I know they're all going to get there. So it's funny because last week on the corporate call, I said, well, Crystal, first off, had done a Facebook Live about juicing, and I don't have a juicer. Of all the household appliances I have, I do not have a juicer. So it was funny because Christine's like, what are you going to do with your $10,000? And I was like, buy a juicer. I mean,
that's a fancy juicer there, Ashley.
And we just got done with the Amazon Prime days. So, but obviously juicers aren't $10,000. So one of my biggest goals, even before the savings bonus, with, like Andrea said, we just had 2 kiddos. I call them kiddos, but they're literally 18, ready to get their wings out and fly out of the nest. We have 2 kiddos who just graduated high school, and so they're going to be going off to college. And so one of the things that I love Colorado. We've been here for 11 years, but it's not my forever home. It's not, I don't, it's gotten crazy and there's lots of people. But one of my main goals within building this business was to, back in South Dakota, where I'm from, my grandparents live literally in the middle of nowhere. I know Dawn Olmstead's on here and she's from Sioux Falls. So if you know where Platte, South Dakota is, it's literally in the middle of nowhere. But they live kind of in between Platte and Chamberlain. And so they my great grandparents used to run the town store. It used to be a huge booming town back in the day. And it's always been a goal of mine to eventually at some point move back there and build a place. And so after losing my mom, and obviously my grandparents getting older, right? My mom was only 47. I was 30 at the time. So she was very young when she had me. And so my grandparents had to step in for a lot of that with me growing up and helping raise me as a child. And so it's always kind of been a goal of mine to eventually move back there now that they're getting a little bit older in their day and just start helping them and kind of just that like full circle, right? And so now that the kiddos are graduated, obviously having this bonus, saving that, and hopefully within the next year or two, or who knows how long, we'll be able to build that house back there and work remote still and be working on Zoom and working with my team just like I do here in Colorado. So definitely what I'm going to be doing with the rest of my bonus besides the juicer.
Well, I love that. And I love your story. And I love that, it kind of shows your heart that your goal is to be closer to people to help. And I think that's how you lead. It's how your team has grown. It's just part of your character. So I love that so much. And I'm not going to talk too much because for some reason you're calm. I'm a disaster, which we've seen this before. But I have one last question for you. And I know you have people there, but I just wanted to ask you, what role did events play in getting you to where you are today?
Oh my goodness. Events. Whether it just goes from a living room to a corporate events, I know back in April, we had that event in Destin. It was my birthday weekend. I had already had plans to be in Nashville, and it literally was like maybe one of two that I've missed in the last 8 years. Completely honest. Like every corporate event, every local event we had down here in Denver or Destin or anywhere, like events I like to think of events as like the lifeblood for you. Like you're plugging into the electricity, you're learning new things, you're emerging and like surrounding yourself by people who are obviously on the same mission, right? Because more than likely they're all brand partners. We could have some guests there, but events are literally just like I said, the lifeblood. It's plugging into that, it's getting up to speed, it's right being immersed in that like energy. But just simply like the self-growth that you come out of it too, but also the excitement that you feel, the excitement your team feels. I always tell my team, like running your business from event to event, whether it's a corporate event, whether it's a Destin like local event that we have. I know they're having an event this weekend in Memphis, right? I mean, plug into as many as you can, but corporate ones are so important. And so I don't know if you're leaning towards like, if that's where you wanted me to go was like the Orlando event. I'm really excited because I know just it being the first partner corporate event, just really going there and experiencing it for yourself, but also building that belief in your team and taking them along there with you, because that's how quick your business is going to grow too.
I love it. So I knew you'd have words of wisdom for us. So Ashley, thank you. Congratulations. Love you so much. Now go get back to your party. And I appreciate you carving out a little time to jump on with us this evening.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you too. All right, guys. So now we get to have Coach. So Brent Palmer Thank you so much for jumping on here with us. And I know that we've got big claps for Ashley, and I know that you played a role in that as well and enjoyed celebrating her. But we're going to switch gears a little bit. And I was hoping you could talk to us a little bit, kind of going on where Ashley left off. Tell us a little bit about what you know about Orlando.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before I do that, I want to say this. Couple of things. Ashley just talked about the savings plan and getting the $10,000. What I love about this industry is people coming together. I love it. I absolutely love it. You know, we do a coach's corner Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. How many of you's on that? A lot of you are. Maybe you put it in the chats, but you know, it's a community. It's people coming together. This call right here, Andrea, you do every week. But what I've realized through growing a network marketing business is the products are amazing. The money's amazing. But the people ends up becoming a tribe that will do more for each other than they'll do for themselves a lot of times. And I experienced that when Ashley was running for the $10,000 savings plan bonus on the anniversary of her mom passing. And so it was a goal. We explained that goal to the team, and I watched them literally pour in and dedicate their week to making sure she crosses the finish line. And as Ashley was talking, I was looking at people on her team and these smiles that are on their face because they were a part of the victory. And people always ask me, like, why is events so important? Because events create that unity. Events create that unity. I'm not trying to dive into religion tonight, but it's kind of like going to your church, right? Like events is where we're all in the business together, right? So we can look at each other and go, well, I mean, there's no prospects here, but it charges us to go share to the world, right? A lot like church does, right? You go to church, right? Not because it's just four walls, but it charges you to go share to the world. And that's what events do. And I tell people all the time, ever since I've been in networking, that if you are not mentally where you need to be, you need the event. And you know if you're mentally where you need to be. And if you are that person that's mentally where you need to be, you're on fire, you're charged up. The event needs you. It needs your spirit. It needs your excitement. It needs your so that's what we're going into in Orlando. I've been on the phone. I've been on the phone a lot today, but I've been on the phone, you know, I've been on the phone with John Wadsworth today. I've been on the phone with some executives today, talking about the event. And I'm actually going to show you an inside sneak peek. Okay. Red topic here. No, y'all are all networkers. It won't stay red topic. You'll go share, right? But I want to share, and you can take a screenshot of this. And I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I've been on with, and this is kind of the layout, if you will, for the event. The event actually starts on Friday, and there's a welcome session from 5 to 6:30. That we're there after we check in, and then there's going to be a leadership dinner from 7:30 to 9:30. Awards, that type of thing. More will follow to this. but this is just so you can book your travel. Okay. This is so you can book your travel. And then as you can see on Saturday, and literally, Andrea, thank you for typing this up. It was just notes. So 8 to 10 is the check-in, 9 a.m. is our noon general session, 2 to 5 is our general session for the evening. And then we're going to have a themed party from 8 to 11. And then on Sunday, 9:30 to noon, we're going to have master classes, breakout sessions. And if you check out on Sunday to maybe go to the airport or whatnot, there will be a place that you can put your luggage. Okay. So we
Nice.
moved the time a little bit so that you can put your luggage there, go to the master classes, and then go catch an Uber over to the airport or what you need to do. Okay. So I want you to have that so you can, somebody said, what are the Sundays times? I don't know. It'll be 9:30 to noon is the spot. Okay. I see Beth says she sees it now. So that's kind of the roughly the time spots for the event in Orlando. Thank you, Andrea, for that. Now let me say this. The location, if you've went and looked at the event location, it is super, super nice. A lot of rooms have balconies overlooking the complex, the big swimming areas, a lot of family stuff to do, a lot of restaurants. It's an unbelievable setup. If you go Google the hotel, we are right now, I'll go ahead and tell you this. We're trying to lock down a spot. Andrea has been looking. So my plan is to have something on Thursday to meet and greet everybody coming in. So if you are planning on coming in on Thursday, I'm going to open it up and have a meet and greet, possibly off site, but have a meet and greet for everybody on Thursday as they start coming into Orlando, where we can just fellowship, have some good time together, and experience that. And I'll bring more detail around that. But just as you start booking your travel and thinking about your arrangements, I know you work. I know a lot of you work and have jobs. Totally understand that. But if you are coming on Thursday, or making plans for that, we're going to do something, and we'll put all that together for you and have that to you. So I also want to make sure everybody knows, get your team tuned in to the Telegram app. Telegram. How many of you is on Telegram where you get our notifications?
Me.
So it's called Communication Channel, and download the app. It's called Communication Channel. Get your team to download it, because I've had a couple of people this week that said, I'm not getting notified. It's on Communication Channel, from the coach's corner to everything we do, chalk talk, everything we do, we put right there so that we can notify each other. Then we notify you 10 minutes before the call or 30 minutes before the call. We'll notify you the entire Orlando event, where we're going, what we're doing, where the pictures are being taken. So again, plug people into that. Now, here's what I want all of us to know. You're on this call tonight because you want to build a business. Like it's obvious I'm not Ray Strand that's going to talk about the product tonight, right? So you tuned in because you're coming here that you want to go from where you're at to somewhere different. And I look at myself in the mirror, and guess what? I'm just like you. I want to go from where I'm at right now to somewhere different. And I see something right now stirring with this company. I see it. How many of you see it? Feel free to put it in the chats if you do. How many of you, if you're looking now, the only way, I mean, I'm like, if you're not seeing it, then you got to go plug yourself into what's going on. Because there is a lot happening. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of people coming to the company. And I share that with you because you're all in different locations of the US. It will come to your town. It will come to your state. I have people all the time, Andrea, tell me, they're like, yeah, but they're where I live, they're negative. They're a show me type people. And they're not. And then before you know it, it blows up in their backyard. And I'm like, well, they showed you. They showed you all right. It's just not in your business. So here's the thing. We want you to get this. And so we're going to do our part. We want to recognize you for coming. We want to celebrate you for coming to Orlando. We want to make plans for you to come to Orlando. The event is the first event that Partner Co. has come together in North America. So we're going to have people traveling from across the borders. We're going to have people traveling from whether it's Mexico or Canada or other places coming to this event. It's the opportunity to be at the beginning, because that's where we all sit. Less than 5 months ago, we launched this company. And this event to me is the shout it from the rooftops, the coming out of the gate, first corporate event. And what I believe everybody will walk away with is they will feel the synergy, the way the company feels, the culture, the acknowledgement. I mean, the things that I see that the executives are doing for this event, there's going to be tons of love for the people.
Mhm.
John and Darren sent out one, I guess you would say, directive, if you will. And John said, we want everybody that comes to Orlando to feel the love, to feel the support, to feel the unity that we are, that we all want to be a part of. And so we just want to do our part. So Andrea, put up, let's show everybody what's going to be going on. And I want everybody to know this is not, doing anything other than acknowledging, hey, pretty good looking people. So we're going to start putting up templates and flyers recognizing you. If you want your picture on a template, then you got to text your name and a picture to Andrea's number there, 951-972-9795. And listen, get your team doing it. This is something that she does not get paid to do this. This is one of those serving deals where she's going above and beyond to add value. But this is a step. So you got to ask yourself, are you going? Are you going to have 5 people on your team there, 10 people on your team, 30 people on your team? We've got time for you to get as many of your team members there as you want, but it starts with you. And so we'll do our part. We'll promote. And then for everybody coming in, we're going to be there to welcome you, to greet you, to put on something Thursday night if you come in early, to invite you over and to have some fun with you and conversate with you and do some stuff there. But Andrea, that's what this is about. I mean, at the end of the day, events, if you want to make money in the industry, it's the events. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't show up. And it's the connections, it's the relationships you make. It's meeting Arlene and Enos. You meet them and you're locked, right? Arlene, you're supposed to smile on that. I was talking about you. So that's where events are. And you you can feel that it's more than money. It's more than product. It's more than that. It's family. It's lifelong partners. It's we're it's a bigger cause than what I really thought I was a part of. It's the stories where you see, man, we really are impacting people, Dawn. We really are making a difference. It's the person that crosses the stage that you go, if he can do it, like he talks like I mean, he talks like me. He speaks like me. He's, so it's the belief you gain. But what I believe most of all is the positioning of where we're at in our company. If anybody looked at me today and said, what's the one thing I could do to build my business and grow something very special here, it would be to go to Orlando. It would be to find a way financially to make the commitment to be there. And so that's why we want to push. I would really love for you to partner with us and help us push, help us promote people, help us acknowledge people. It goes back, Andrea, to what I say about this whole retail sales movement that's going on inside of Partner Co. It's and the Scots really did a beautiful job. I'm going to their meeting this weekend, their event in Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know anybody else on here might be going, but when I look at our model right now, it's like if you're going to be that person, maybe it's 5-day trial, maybe it's drops, maybe it's something else. But if you're retailing the product out there, as soon as somebody gets the product, it's time to love on them. It's time to recognize them. It's time to acknowledge them. It's time to check in on them day 3, day 2, day 4. Celebrate the little pound victories with them. Celebrate I'm seeing a difference in my joints. Celebrate the little things because the celebration leads to recruit. Recruit because you have established a better relationship. So you retail and then you love on them and you become their cheerleader, and then they turn into a recruit that turns into a brand partner because they want it for wholesale. They want to get the product for what you get it for and have a chance to maybe get it for free. They don't have any vision. Their vision is very little. But you know who's their biggest cheerleader? You are. That's what we do. People always ask me, what are you at network marketing? I see you before you see yourself. That's what I am. I see you before you believe. And once you recruit them, and they just got a little bitty pumpkin seed vision. But that's okay. Because they're going to get on that residual income. I mean, they're going to get on that product every month. And you're continuing to love on them and push them and encourage them. And then you talk them into going to Orlando. It's a tough, rough road of trying to come up with the finances, but you get them there and they walk into Orlando and their eyes are like that. Their eyes are like that. They're smiling from ear to ear because they're there. They didn't think they had the finances to get there. They didn't think they could take time away from work, but they're there. And they're the happiest people there. And then they sit in the seat and people start loving on them a little more. People start talking to them. And you can see throughout that event, they start to grow. And that little pumpkin seed of vision starts to get watered. And that, my friends, is what turns people. Events creates people because it makes people see a bigger vision. It's just like the retail model. It's just like I get them in, just get them in, get them a product, be proud of that, and then love on them. Don't let them go. Don't let them slip through the cracks. Don't let them fall away. Check on them, acknowledge them, and they'll turn into a recruit because they want the discount. But you got a bigger vision for them. They don't even know it. That's what makes our industry so special. And so many people don't know, and it's okay, they don't know. So many people think we're all about the money, or we're all about this, or we're purveyors of hope in people when they sometimes don't have the hope. We give them the hope. We love on them enough till they've got the hope, till they start seeing. I've said this for a while. My prayer is that we're putting together a company that are going to attract people that is community driven, is that people want to be a part of, that they lead with love. And I believe that type of feel will be in Orlando, Florida. And the only way you'll get to feel it is if you're there in the door. It's going to be a special deal. So in saying that, because we know that, we got to build for the event. We got to build for the event. We've got to push for these 2 months, July and August, because we don't want to leave Cheryl Elliott behind. We want her coming right through, right? We got to get that Texarkana and out of there to Orlando. We don't want to leave anybody out. And so we're going to push, we're going to recognize, and we will do our part to make it an amazing event. So Andrea, that's what I wanted to share tonight. And I know maybe it wasn't training, but it is a part of our industry that you can't grow and be big in our industry and do something special if events are not a big part of it. It's called the big three of our industry: events, tools, and recognition make up our industry on how to do this business. So the events in Orlando, and we're going to make sure people get recognized that are going. So, and if you make it there Thursday, I don't know what I'm going to have to rent or the food we got to bring in, but we are going to welcome everybody. I might get me a Mickey Mouse costume. We're going to welcome everybody to Orlando, and we're going to have a great Thursday evening together of some fellowship. So, Andrea, thank you for tonight. Thanks for putting these on. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I'm so blessed and grateful to be a part of you in this community. It's unbelievable. Love what I do. I found something I can retire into and not out of. And that's this deal right here. So y'all have a great night.
Well, Coach, thank you. Thank you for sharing your vision for the event and the importance of the event. I'm watching you, Beth. And I just think, sorry, I met my sister on here, but just the fact that you work so hard to make sure that nobody's left behind. And that's powerful. That's super powerful. And I will tell you another thing, which I'm sorry for doing this to you, but another thing that you do that's so powerful is that you lead by example. If anybody's watching you right now, if anybody's watching what you're doing, you're leaving clues on what we can all do in order to follow in your footsteps. And that's powerful, because a lot of times when people get to places where you are, they don't do that kind of stuff anymore. right? They don't do the basic steps. They just do the big stuff. So thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for encouraging all of us. Thank you for bringing us with you and giving us the steps to follow in. So love you guys. Thank you for spending your Wednesday evening with us, and cannot wait to see you all throughout the week on the Coaches Corner. And you all have a great evening. Ashley, you're amazing as always. Coach, you were phenomenal. And I love all y'all. So you guys have a beautiful night, and we'll see you back in the morning.
Love you.
Oh, you got it. Love you,
Grateful
Brandon.
for you.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
you.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you,
Brandon.
Andrea.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Andrea.
Thank you so much.
You
Love your
beautiful,
hearts.
Mike.
Good
Beautiful.
night, guys. Have a beautiful evening.